Now at 6, runners around the 4 states brave the cold with a frosty trail run. Plus, the George Washington Carver Museum holds a documentary showing of in remembrance of Martin for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And some experts share tips to help you and your loved ones drive during winter weather.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We'll be seeing single-digit and negative temperatures for a while. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Elise Snowy. We go straight to meteorologist Katie Frazier for a first look at the forecast.
Well, happy Saturday, everyone. Dangerously cold temperatures are expected now through Tuesday. We're also looking at snow across the 4 states tomorrow. Very low wind chills. We're talking about those feels like temperatures in the negatives, but luckily, warmer days are coming. Right now, looking over downtown Joplin, it is a brisk, frigid night across the 4 states. The feels like temperatures are anywhere in the low negative 20s up for Yates Center and Iola, but down near Joplin, Neosho, -6 right now, -10 in Webb City. It is just brutal outside, and even colder air is going to be moving into our area. This is that Arctic air mass. It's coming straight from the poles. That is bringing our very cold temperatures. We'll have a chance of snow across the 4 states tomorrow. I'll let you know when and where coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Katie. A reminder, many communities across our area have warming centers where people can escape the cold. They include a number of libraries, senior centers, and other facilities. Some are open only when temperatures drop below 32 degrees and access might be limited to business hours. And many will have specific rules to ensure public safety. You can find a list of dozens of area shelters along with contact information on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, the winter weather is certainly here, and there are things you should do to be prepared if you have to drive in bad conditions. Elizabeth Manmitri has the details.
Retired from the Highway Patrol after 26 years, and we've been doing this for 4 years.
Dan Bracker is a driving instructor, and with 30 years of driving experience under his belt, he has seen some things.
Crazy is a nice way to put it.
He says driving in winter weather has to start days before it hits, like today. It's one of the biggest mistakes he sees.
Alerts start coming across. Let's plan.
Get your car serviced.
The battery is charged, the wipers are good, the fluids are full.
The night before a snowstorm, wipers go up so they don't freeze if you're parked outside.
We're going to get up early the morning of, and we're going to get our vehicle defrosted.
The whole vehicle.
Because you can't be that person driving down the road with a little patch of clear windshield here trying to drive and navigate these roads.
Sergeant Mike McClure with the Missouri State Highway Patrol says troopers have been watching the weather too.
More hyper aware, if you will, in any change in weather or event.
See, that's what you're up against, is people like that. They find a parking lot and he's with his buddy over here and they're going to start doing donuts. And they can't wait. I mean, it's not even iced over or snowy yet, and they're finding parking lots to do their speeding and circling.
The safest driving tip in bad weather: don't drive at all.
Experts also say drivers should avoid pumping their brakes while driving and try to slow brake instead. The freezing cold could also lead to frozen pipes and possible water damage. And it's not just homeowners who should be getting ready. For sprinkler systems in businesses, room temperatures need to be at least 50 degrees. Make sure the pipes are insulated. And you'll want to walk around the building and room to check for drafts and fix it if you feel one. Branson's fire chief says potential damage typically comes when we see more than 2 to 3 days of sub-freezing temperatures.
Once you confirm that you've had a break and there's no fire, know how to turn those systems off to avoid that water damage. Know where your domestic water line shutoffs are as well to avoid water damage.
After a cold snap, Chief Martin says it's equally as important to keep an eye on the pipes as the temps go back to normal. As the ice thaws, that can also cause pipe issues. Runners around the area stayed warm today with some exercise. The Joplin Road Runners hosted a Frosty for a trail run at Morse Park. Awards were given out to the winners from each category, top male and female, and top and age graded performance ranking. All participants received medals following the run.
This is our third edition of what we call our Frosty Run. Why? Because we ordered frosty weather and we got what we ordered. The last 2 years we were able to provide enough money for over 500 meals for Neosho Hope Kitchen. So we want to continue that tradition.
Net proceeds from today went to the Hope Kitchen in Neosho. George Washington Carver National Monument today remembered Martin Luther King Jr. with a documentary called In Remembrance of Martin. The showing featured personal reflections by people who recall his career and leadership in the civil rights movement.
It's family members and people that knew Dr. King, and they're kind of talking about, it talks about his journey, it talks about different speeches, different actions of his life between the 50s and the 60s. Leading up to his death.
The monument will be showing the documentary again tomorrow and Monday at 1 p.m. Coming up, we meet a four-state comedian, Keith Terry, who is using laughter to help spread a message. Opening from Michael Bublé to traveling the world, comedian Keith Terry has found success from his art. He's now using that art to spread a message. KOAM's Anthony Saviello has more.
Mama, you call us? No, I'm choking, boy. I'm choking.
Keith Terry is an Arkansas native with a talent for making people laugh.
I got stories for days, man. Stories for days.
But more than that, he uses his talent to spread a message.
How did that happen? Love. Just say the word love. Say the word love and frown. Love. You know what I mean?
Love is not just a word to Keith. It's a lifestyle, and he knows the perfect way to share it.
It's on stage. It's on stage from my experiences, good and bad, and I'm love, and that's the message, you know?
Just a few years ago, Keith found himself in a low spot after suffering losses in his family and Keith himself having health issues.
I passed after I died. Over 2 minutes gone. No oxygen. I'm not on this earth. Welcome to Joplin. It was 20 degrees yesterday. It's 70 degrees today.
Through that hardship, Keith began a new part of his life, and it started here in Joplin.
Because Joplin was the first headline in my first performance. This right here, this shot is after I got out of the hospital, maybe a week or two. I had made a choice that every single day I was going to be the best version of myself, and I was going to make the right decision. Life is choices and options, and that's the choice I made, which dictates the options that I get. And like after losing everything in life, including your life, and then making a conscious decision to be like, I am more of what I am than who I am. Who I am is things that come from this world. What I am is in the universe is I'm love.
Keith plans to show that love right here in Joplin, at the spot that gave him new purpose. He just has one small request.
Turn the phones off first, you know.
And one last piece of advice.
Forgive yourself, whatever it is. One of the hardest lessons, you dig, was forgiving myself. Didn't even realize how important that was. So that's what I want.
Reporting in Joplin, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Keith will be performing at the Roxy Event Center on January 26th at 8 p.m. For information about tickets, you can visit our website, KOAMNewsNow.com. A little later, the St. Louis Cardinals stopped by Missouri Southern as part of the Cardinal Caravan. Brock Baldridge will have that and more in sports.
Well, good evening, everyone. I'm meteorologist Katie Frazier. Tonight, a really good night to stay indoors. It is terribly cold outside. Temperatures will be dropping down to, yes, 0 degrees by midnight tonight, and the feels like temperatures even worse. So our whole area is covered in winter weather watches, warnings, wind chill warnings for the area in light blue. So that's the northern half of our region. The areas down south, those are some winter weather warnings and watches. So we're looking at snow to be a possibility for us across the region tomorrow. We did have what looks like a little light band of snow move through the westernmost portion or the easternmost portions of our region just over the past several hours. Didn't really see too much accumulation out of this, but that will change with our next winter storm moving in tomorrow. Now, the cold air isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's going to be very cold, dangerously cold over the next several hours all the way through your Tuesday. So that's why we're still under a first alert. Now, for the rest of tonight, temperatures, at least the air temperature, will be in the single digits, feeling like negative teens across the region. We will be clearing out by later on tonight, but then that snow will return for us midday tomorrow. By 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, just stay indoors. I'm telling you, you don't want to get outside tomorrow. It's going to be very cold. If you have to, make sure you are bundling up layers upon layers and covering up all your fingers, your toes, and your ears, and even your nose if you can as well. Now, by about lunchtime tomorrow, we'll start to see that light snow move into the southernmost portions of our region, and we are expecting accumulation across the region tomorrow through the middle parts of our day. So lunchtime all the way to the early afternoon, we can expect snow for folks in Nowata, all the way over to Grove, Miami, into Neosho and Joplin as well. That's where we are looking at some accumulation. Areas up north, not as much, but that's not to say you won't see any. I'll show you my snow accumulation map just after this. And then by Monday, we're also looking at some scattered snow showers across the region as well. But Sunday will be the big day as far as snow goes for the southernmost portions of our region. Monday, we'll just see some scattered snow showers across the region as well. That will last throughout the majority of your day on Monday. By what it looks like Monday evening, though, we will be much drier. Now, here's that snow accumulation forecast for you. The areas in blue, at least light blue, we're looking at anywhere from 1 to 3 inches. So that does include folks in Joplin, Neosho, all the way out to Independence. Areas in white, we're looking at trace to maybe half an inch to an inch, and then areas down in northern Oklahoma and Arkansas as well, we are looking at anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of snow for folks down there. Feels like temperatures absolutely brutal and dangerous, so please limit your time outdoors if you can. Later on tonight, feels like temperatures in the teens, negative teens that is, and negative 20s for folks up in Yates Center for tomorrow. Down in Neosho, negative 20. So that brutal cold weather will stick around throughout your day on Sunday, seeing those lows or the temperatures feeling like the teens, negative teens once again. Things to do. You want to definitely check on your friends and family. Sit by the fireplace to make sure you are staying warm. Do not put your generator inside. And then worst case scenario, anything happens to your generator or maybe even your heater, just head out to a cooling center. Your 7-day forecast for Joplin looks like this, with the first alert day still staying through Tuesday. Now, we are expecting snow for your Sunday, mostly on your Sunday, a couple snow showers on your Monday as well. Temperatures dangerously cold through Tuesday. Will warm up a little bit. Fortunately, by Wednesday and Thursday of this upcoming week, another chance of some snow on Thursday too. Then unfortunately, temperatures are going to be quite cold again as we return towards this upcoming weekend.
Still ahead, current and former members of the St. Louis Cardinals baseball team visit Joplin this morning. And Missouri Southern women's basketball looks to continue their win streak. Brock Baldridge will have the highlights and more next in sports.
Well, the Missouri Southern Lions women's basketball team has been on an absolute tear this past month. The Lions have now won 7 straight games, and 4 of those 5 wins have been against opponents ranked in the top 20 or higher. Missouri Southern back at home after short rest. The Lions face Nebraska Kearney this afternoon. Start things in the first quarter as Mia Topping scores the first points of the game. Gets nothing but net on the 3 ball there. Lions lead by 3. Next possession, Topping goes to Mira Khan. Top of the key here, flushes it home for 3 points. Lions up by 1 early. Still in the first, off the inbounds play, Caitlin Honeycutt quickly gets the shot off and buries the jumper. Lions really spreading the wealth out today. In the second quarter, it's Kennedy Roach, the former Red Raven, and Vanita Hornet knocks down the 3 ball at the top of the key. Lions led by 10 at halftime. So we head to the second half now. Chrislyn Jones steps back and puts it in. Southern leads by 11. Still in the fourth quarter, Ryan Franklin posts up, scores there on the bucket. Her and Chrislyn Jones each scored 14 points this afternoon. And then Mia Topping puts this game to bed right here on the 3 ball. Missouri Southern wins their 8th straight game. Southern wins it 72-56. The Lions are now all alone in first place in the MIAA.
The buy-in, I think, has been huge for these 8 games. And of course, the defense and then executing offensively. I looked at over our last 5 games. I think we're shooting almost 50% overall and like 36% from 3.
We just need to keep doing what we've been doing, coming into practice every day, working hard, just supporting each other and just like uplifting and encouraging each other.
The Missouri Southern men look to bounce back after a loss to Fort Hays State on Thursday night. Lions also hosting the Lopers this afternoon. So opening minutes of the game, it's Vincent Sigmund Jr. who drives to the rim, gets the finger roll lay-in for 2. He led Southern with 18 points this afternoon. Still in the first half, Sam Thompson uses his size here to get the hook shot to go. But then, quickly to respond here is Kearney's Demiri Lindo for 2 points. Later in the half, Southern finds a spark on the offense. Darius Dawson from way downtown splashes that one home. Over Kearney, well, they can hit threes too as Tom Connolly knocks down the 3 from the corner there. But Southern starts the momentum rolling right here as Tyreek Jackson goes up and under for the basket here. And later on, Darius Dawson, look out below. Big man coming through the lane. Big dunk there. Lions go on to get the victory, 88-78. Well, Pitt State also at home this afternoon. The women's team defeated Kearney, Nebraska on Thursday night, and the Gorillas faced number 15 Fort Hays State. Rough game for Pitt State in this game. They now lost 2 of their last 3. Pitt State loses 68-53. Over to the men's game now. Just following up after the women's game. Really close from start to finish, but Pitt State's able to pull away in the final minutes. Gorillas win this one 74-62, and the men's team improves to 9-5 on the season. Well, spring training begins in just over a month before the St. Louis Cardinals head over to Jupiter, Florida to prepare for the 2024 season. But today, the Cardinals pay a visit to Joplin, Missouri on this campus of Missouri Southern for their annual Cardinals Caravan. A handful of current and former St. Louis Cardinals are in town for their annual Cardinals Caravan. The Caravan made 2 stops in Springfield on Friday, and on Saturday morning, they make their final stop in Joplin. The team uses this event to connect with fans in Southwest Missouri by signing autographs and getting people fired up ahead of the season.
You know, we got Springfield right down the road, right? We got an affiliate there. It's it's Cardinal country, right? And anytime you can get to some of the smaller towns and get out in the community, because obviously we're about 4 hours from St. Louis here. So people might not get up there as much as they possibly can, and to put our faces with some faces out here it's fun.
Yeah, so I look at it as everyone from all over Missouri, or even there's Cardinals fans everywhere, they come and see us throughout the season. So it's pretty cool. We can hit the road and come see them. It's pretty special.
Well, the Kansas City Chiefs look to defend their Super Bowl title tonight. It's officially wild card weekend. The Chiefs are just about to kick off at a chilly Arrowhead Stadium with lots of coats, gloves, and ski masks in the crowd. The Miami Dolphins and Tyreek Hill pay a visit to Arrowhead, where they will square off with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs have never beaten the Dolphins in the postseason. First time since 2017 that Miami has played a game in Arrowhead. Kickoff is scheduled for 7:10 p.m. And one last reminder in case you missed it, this game is only exclusive on the streaming service Peacock, so if you can't watch it, well, check back in here tonight at 10 at KOAM News. We'll have the score for you. Let's a quick look at sports. We'll be back with more news right after this.
Dangerously cold temperatures are expected now through Tuesday, and we'll also have about 1 to 3 inches of snow expected tomorrow in Joplin.
Well, it is certainly cold indeed, so you want to make sure to bundle up. Well, that's our time for now. Thanks for making us part of your night.